Top 10 places you should never swim. We all love a leisurely swim in the water, but sometimes that do not swim sign could actually save your life. Welcome back to another amazing Top 10 video brought to you by Premium Videos. Hang on one second. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button below so you never have to miss out on our future content that has to be seen to be believed. Feeling the itch to travel? Need to satisfy that Wunderlust? There's nothing better than going on a swimming holiday. I mean, who doesn't like kicking back and relaxing while soaking up some rays with a most excellent beverage? Not all beaches, rivers, and waterholes are made equal. Today we'll go around the world and share with you, our loyal followers, some places that might make you want to think twice about taking a dip in our top 10 places you should never swim. Number 10. Kipu Falls, Hawaii. In 2011, this area was closed to the public, and for good reason. Kipu Falls used to be a popular tourist destination, and to get there you had to brave a treacherous walking track with the prize well worth it when the clear, beautiful water of the falls came into view. Now it's well known for injury and death. Jumping from waterfalls causes many injuries, but it's swimming in the lake that seems to be the more perilous pastime. People spontaneously drown, and local people say it's a water spirit that drags people down to the depths as it doesn't want to be disturbed. Nobody knows why eyewitness accounts tell of people swimming apparently normally before suddenly panicking and going under. Well, definitely a location struck off our list then. Number 9. Ganges River, India. No doubt everyone has heard of the Ganges River in India. We've all seen visuals of the rafts of rubbish and human waste floating downriver, but how dangerous is it really? The Ganges is one of the largest and most polluted rivers on Earth. It contains fecal matter over 3,000 times the safe tolerance limit, so bathe or drink at your own risk. Over 40,000 cremated bodies of the deceased are also floated down the river per year. Over 600 kilometers of this river has been deemed an ecological dead zone where life cannot sustain itself. This river is also home to some crazy strong currents and undertows, and drownings are frequent. And if this isn't bad enough, it's home to crocodiles, several species of shark, including the notorious bull shark, and piranhas. The red-bellied piranha usually calls the Amazon River home. However, these guys have shown up as an invasive species, no doubt an unwanted addition from someone's home aquarium. Number 8. Pretty much anywhere in Australia. We've all seen the memes, and there's a ton out there about Australia's dangerous fauna. Whether information or misinformation, we will sort some truth from within all that fiction. Almost all beaches in Australia are frequented by one or more species of man-eating shark, so that's out. But what about the river? Thanks to its ability to thrive and breed in fresh water, bull sharks are also present in many Australian rivers. Warning signs on the northern states' waterways are no joke. Crocodiles are abundant here, so enter at your own risk. But it's not just the bitey critters that you have to worry about. Box jellyfish, blue-ring octopus, stonefish, cone snails, sea snakes, and stingrays are amongst the seemingly limitless nightmarish horde of sea creatures that could make your next holiday your last. The upside, despite the odds being stacked against you, death from sea life are a rarity. Want some fun facts? You're twice as likely to die from insect stings than being eaten by a shark. Impressive, but that's not even the craziest part. You're almost 3 times as likely to be killed by a farm animal than a dangerous sea creature. I say go cow tipping at your own risk. Number 7. Samesan Hole, Thailand. Some of you may have heard of the Samesan Hole, a 280 feet deep popular dive spot popular with those who want to test their skills. What you may not know is that this salty abyss has claimed the lives of many. The Samesan Hole is so deep that light does not penetrate its depths, leaving many divers disoriented, drowned, and never to surface again. Huge currents, killer barracuda fish, and even unexploded U.S. ordnances are some of the other pitfalls waiting divers brave enough to attempt this dive. No thanks. Number 6. New Smyrna Beach, USA. New Smyrna Beach in Florida may appear picturesque, but it has a reputation for another reason. Being the redfish capital of the world is great and all, except when the abundance of fish life here doesn't just attract tourists searching for the fish of a lifetime, but more ominous guests, like the black-tipped shark. These sharks migrate in the tens of thousands down the Florida coast annually, hunting in the shadows close to shore, putting them in a direct collision course with swimmers. This beach is the shark attack capital of the world. Roughly 1 in every 25 shark attacks worldwide happens here. Scientists estimate that anyone who has swum there has most definitely come within 10 feet of a shark. The upside? None of these attacks are lethal, and some victims even drive themselves to hospital. Time for a couple other unbelievable shark facts. Americans are roughly 1,000 times more likely to be injured by a bucket and 200 times more likely to be injured by an air freshener than a shark. I don't know about you, but I like my odds. Number 5. Horseshoe Lake USA. This Californian lake may very well have been the inspiration behind the movie Dante's Peak. It's hard not to think that when you look at the parallels between the two. A picture-perfect camping spot, Horseshoe Lake sits nestled against Mammoth Mountain, which was the scene for a series of earthquakes in the late 80s and early 90s. Scientists noticed that these earthquakes released methane and carbon dioxide in levels high enough to cause over 100 acres of dead trees around the lake's perimeter. This massive release was caused by the fracture of a thin layer of rock separating the lava from the lake. Subsequent expulsions of gas kill every living thing in the area, and that's not even the scariest part. CO2 and methane levels change so randomly and without warning that signs are posted around the lake cautioning visitors about the danger and to holiday at the lake at their own risk. Number 4. The Boiling Lake, Dominica. This lake may appear safe enough with its blue-gray water and gentle steam vapor rising off the surface. A nice, warm, hot spring perfect to soak those aching bones in. Well, think again. This lake is superheated by molten hot magma seeping through an opening in the Earth's crust. This is one of the hottest lakes on the planet, with water temperatures reaching over 90 degrees Celsius or 190 degrees Fahrenheit, more than capable of boiling you alive. Best to avoid this one, guys. I wouldn't want to be turned into a human teabag. Number 3. Pistoia Lake, Russia. Located in western Siberia, what makes this lake so intriguingly dangerous is the fact that, well, we really have no idea why this place is so deadly. No fish or plant life thrives in this lake, with scientists scratching their head as to why. Every conceivable test has been performed on these waters, but to date there has been no scientific evidence to support the lack of life here. Durable fish such as carp, pike, and perch have been released, only to eventually die out, and aquatic plants have also been introduced only to perish. Authorities thought it best just to deter people from visiting the lake, until they get to the bottom of just what's going on here. Number 2. The Nile River African continent. A top 10 list wouldn't be a top 10 list without mentioning the Nile River, one of the most dangerous bodies of water on Earth. The river itself is dangerous, with treacherous currents able to sweep unsuspecting fishermen to their doom. It's also host to a bunch of waterborne diseases that can make you really, really sick, or even dead. Every year, hundreds of people are taken by crocodiles in this river. We've all seen those scenes on National Geographic where the herds of wildebeest are crossing a narrow section of river only to be snatched up by 20-foot-plus long Nile crocodiles. I don't know about you, but there's no way you're getting me near that riverbank. And that's not even the most insane part, though. Crocodiles are not your biggest worry. The hippopotamus is attributed with killing more people in Africa every year than the crocodile. A male hippo can weigh anywhere between 3,000 and 9,000 pounds. That's like the combined weight of 2 football teams coming straight at you and cleaving you in two. The biggest danger here, however, comes from the smallest creatures. Diseases spread through mosquitoes and other insects are responsible for making a whopping 500 million people sick per year. Malaria, West Nile fever, and other microparasites account for countless deaths per year for the people who call this place home. That's a big nope for me. And this brings us to our number 1 place that you absolutely should never ever swim at. Number 1. The Amazon River, South America. It's easier to list what won't kill you in this gigantic, sprawling river of death. Giant anacondas, easily big enough to swallow a person whole, can stay underwater for over 10 minutes waiting to ambush their prey. Flesh-eating red-bellied piranhas can rip you to shreds in a feeding frenzy, and there won't be anything left of you except a skeleton picked clean. There are many well-documented accounts of cars and buses that have crashed into the Amazon, with the only remains of the occupants being bones in the vehicle retrieved from the riverbed. Electric eels can shock you with over 600 volts, the equivalent to many times the power you would get from putting a knife into a wall socket, stopping the heart and killing you stone dead. They are known as the silent killer, as those unlucky to come into contact with them appear to just fall over, their hearts stop. Let's not forget to mention the sharks and crocodiles. However, tiny catfish called candiru are easily the most feared river monster that calls the Amazon River home. These little guys are capable of traveling up the urethra and entering the human penis, and once inside, wedges itself in place with sharp pointed barbs. As you can imagine, it's a very delicate procedure to remove this vexing aquatic pest. And that's more than enough reason for this guy to never put a toe or even get near this stretch of water ever. I hope the places described in today's video haven't discouraged you from taking that trip overseas that you've always dreamt about. But the team here at Premium Videos hopes that when it comes time to plan the holiday of a lifetime, you take the time to think about these places where you should never swim. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments which other top 10 videos you want to see.